Now it's time for our number one Cochrane Go One Better Call of the night. We go to Mike in Bethel Park. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, hey guys, hey Bob and Paul. Just a comment. 38 years ago, when the Penguins tanked the season to get Mario, they are who they are. And Paul said it best last night on his talk show. It's over for the people that don't want to believe it. So I'd like to see the Steelers throw these last couple games with a shot of getting Pickett and turning the franchise around. I didn't know what you guys thought about it.
Well, first of all, I think it's hard to tank in the NFL, although they don't even need any help the way they're playing. I mean, they can play the same way apparently and end up with the same result. Although, again, tanking to me is difficult to predict. I mean, if you're really in hockey or whatever sport you want to try to do it, fine. If you think the prize is there, but there's no guarantee you're going to pick. Right now, Paul, the Steelers are scheduled to draft 16th. They could fall into the top 10, maybe not. And there's so many variables. I don't think even if you tried to tank, you can guarantee what would happen next.
Exactly, and you don't know, in the NFL, I mean, the one thing about everyone talking about Kenny Pickett and this and that and the other thing, listen, teams are evaluating him now, but in, January when you start going through the combine process, to the interviews, all that other stuff, you'll really start to see a formulate, who is the really legitimately the top quarterback and this and that and the other thing. People here will be upset if it's not Kenny Pickett, but, this is all speculation because teams really haven't gotten down to the nuts and bolts of studying this actual draft class because they don't know exactly who's going to be in it yet because the season's not over.
All right, real quick, I got a tweet from Michael Andreski who says, Bob, do you think Narduzzi will go after Spencer Rattler from Oklahoma or Jack Miller from Ohio State, next quarterback? Well, you talked about free agency, Paul. Give me a 30-second answer because I want to squeeze in Jerry real quick. But, I mean, I would do that. And if any of these guys look at Pitt and say, look at the success Pickett has had, why wouldn't I want to go there?
No, I agree. Absolutely. I'm sure he'll call every one of those quarterbacks. Isn't there a guy from like San Jose State who's pretty good that's leaving or something?
Yep.
I mean, there's guys out there. He's going to absolutely, and he's going to show him Kenny Pickett highlights.
Jerry in Hempfield. You have a chance to make some highlights right now, Jerry. Go ahead.
Hey, real quick here. I'm just watching some sports talk shows during the daytime, and they says that Steelers are going to go after a name-brand quarterback. Like, if Russell Wilson's available or Aaron Rodgers, why would they want to come here, those two guys? They shouldn't come here. And then somebody says if they can't get a good quarterback, they might convince Roethlisberger to come back for one more year because he'd be the best of the worst.
Well, let me tell you something. First of all, if you listen to the people in Seattle, they want Russell Wilson out of there all of a sudden. They're having problems. They're 3-8. Paul, it's kind of remarkable how this goes, but these teams, like even New Orleans, they're trying to figure out who they are and what they're going to do.
Yeah, I know, really. I mean, Russell Wilson has looked terrible. He's been absolutely terrible. Not that I had, a vested interest in it, but last night watching that game was very frustrating because he was horrible. It was almost like he didn't even know that DK Metcalf was on his team. He hasn't played well. I mean, they've got to figure out something because the Steelers, maybe next year is just a throwaway year and they go with a guy like Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Zeise, thanks. Always a pleasure talking to you. We'll see you again soon. That's going to do it for our show tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're back at you tomorrow and every night, 10:35 right here. Give us a shout anytime. We'd love talking to you on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.